Hi everybody, it's Tina here from Hummingbird Tales. Hello, how are you all? I've got a little thing to share with you here. This is one of my altered bags with bits and pieces that I make. I made one for my giveaway and I made one for Stina Swanson, who's a really lovely friend of mine. And I've made this for my friend Ali Commons. She doesn't know about it. It's a surprise little gift. So I won't be putting this up until she's received it. Anyway, I started off as usual with making the bag. Let's make sure that I don't get everything in the way and go out of focus and all. And again, I've chosen one of the vintage ladies and I've layered up with cheesecloth and vintage music paper, which is actually upside down. And then this is the right way up. And under here, you can see there's some corrugated card, and this is a crochet doily that I've cut a part off here, which has gone down here, and then the rest of it's up there, and there's this trim along there, and I've sewn around this picture and the music paper with black thread. Sorry, it's been a long day. And this little flower here I've just made out of some cheesecloth and some black thread, which I thought turned out rather nice. And then on the back I've just stamped Hummingbird Tales, my little stamp there. So that was the bag. And then I made one of my little post-it notes little things. This has got music paper, vintage, and there's a little butterfly here with a little diamante thing. This is a piece of a heart applique with cheesecloth and a black bead. And then I've actually not got frightening pink this time, but I've actually managed to get some pale pink post-its, and there's some pale blue post-its. And I know that Ali loves butterflies, so I've put some there and there. And this time I've actually stenciled on this part because I thought it was a bit plain on the last one that I made. So that's that. Then I thought, oh, I'll make a notebook just for a change. But I ended up making this journal. If I can make sure that you can see it. So this journal has got this beautiful picture of this vintage lady. The lighting is not at all very good in here. I'm having to hold this up. I'll see if I can pull the camera down a bit. Is that a bit better? Oh, that's better. I can lean on the table now. Okay. So I made this using cardstock, and on the front I glued what was a cream cushion cover, and it had ridges in it. And then over the top of that, this beautiful lace, like an applique, wedding applique. And then I distressed it around the edges with some vintage photo. I put eyelets in, which are these little flower ones. And on the front, keeping in the theme of the cream, white and black of the cover of the bag, I put my favourite picture on. And then I've layered up again on some vintage music paper, cheesecloth, excuse me, and this is a little applique with the same bead that's on the little post-it note cover. The closure is some organza ribbon. I'll just measure it a moment because I actually haven't done that. So it's about 3 1/4 by 4. And then, of course, you've got the overhang of this actual lace piece. If we go inside, I haven't actually made a little one for quite some time. So I was quite pleased with how this turned out. So here I've got a new stamp set that I bought a while ago. And I love it. It's this one here. Crafty Individuals, and it's just got the umbrella, the corset, and this like a document image there, and I've cut them all up into pieces, and I am actually going to mount them onto foam and then onto some wood and stamp the images so that I've got them mounted properly. But anyway, so here we've got This Book Belongs To, and this was a stamp that dear Crafty Irina sent me in a swap. So thank you, Irene, and I hope you're keeping well with your move. And if we open here, I've used some more of the paper that I had from the lace pack. Was it called Vintage Lace by Stamperia? And I've used quite a bit of that in here. And I've just noticed that I've got a tuck here, and the thing for the tuck I've put somewhere else. So I'll sort that in a minute. But anyway, so that's on the background. And then we've got this vintage lady that I fussy cut out, who is the same lady that's on the bag. And then here's a little journaling card, and I've got a corset stamp there, and that's backed on coffee card. And here is a little vintage fan, and I'll find the bit that tucks into that in a moment. And then we open here, and I've got another little tag that's backed onto the Stamperia paper with that corset, and it's sewn around. And this is like a little bit of trim, and here there's a tiny weeny tag that actually Ali sent me in some happy mail, and I've just put some washi tape on there with music score, so it all matches in together. And here we've got a glassine bag, and what I've done is I've stuck this beautiful bit of it's actually an old table runner, vintage table runner, and this was the edging of it. And oh, bent the flower. And inside we have got this image of this lady, which I really love as well, and she's been backed and sewn onto some coffee card. So stick her in properly. That's it. And on the other side here, I've made a little belly band with some lace and another one of these little flowers. And then there's the corset tag. There's a tag, and do you know what, the gem I've just found that's come off, so I'll stick that on in a moment. So that's with the Stamperia paper, and I'll put that there so I can glue that on. And then we've got some script stamp and some butterfly stamped, and I've cut all the edges of the paper with some of those decorative scissors. I just wanted to really texture this. So here we've got that little stamp set, the umbrella, or the parasol I should say. And here we've got a guest check, which I've cut down, made into a little tuck area, and I cut the bottom off and made this little tag, and that sits in there. And there's a butterfly here with a gem, and that's on vintage music paper. And here we've got the same vintage music paper. I've put a pocket on and layered up a bit of cheesecloth and a rose. And here's another journaling card of one of these lovely ladies, again all backed on coffee paper, all sewn, and has black and white flower type image. More script, because I wanted Ali to have room to journal. Another butterfly with cheesecloth. This is a piece of canvas, and I've stamped Life is Beautiful on it, and I've sewn on this little trim. And here we have another journaling card of this lady, and I've just sewn glued this little flower applique on. I wanted to keep it, oh, what's that from? All together. There's a bead there that's got stuck. Yeah, I wanted everything to match in together, make it very vintagey. Oh, I've done an Yvonne Preston. Sorry, Yvonne. I've glued something. There we go. So here we've got some cheesecloth and another corset here. This is not a tuck spot. This is all stamped on to coffee paper and then stuck on and layered on the cheesecloth. Another page, and again we've got this little corset stamp, and behind here I've got tucked one of these little hearts, and that is from the Stamperia paper, and more writing space. And this is the center of this little signature, and in it I've got I've used black linen thread, and I've got the little butterflies on with some gems. And then I've made corner tucks with Stamperia paper. And this is actually from that stamp set. It joins like that. It's that there. And I've cut it in half, put flower applique and stickers on the top, and then they slot in either side like that. So the next page, we've got one of the circles that I've cut out of the Stamperia, and it's funny because that's double-sided. And then here we have a fabric pocket with, now you know I always get this one wrong, is it broderie anglaise or eyelet trim for my American friends? And I've layered this flower up on some cheesecloth and done some black stitching. And inside we have this journaling tag of this beautiful lady with one of the little flowers dangling down. I quite like that. And of course there's a corset on the doily there. Up here we have a pocket, and inside we have one of the corset tags from the Stamperia paper collection. I've actually cut the corset out and stuck it on the back of another piece of the card, so it's made it quite firm, because I was a bit worried about pulling it in and out of here and having it too flimsy, so I couldn't get it in and out smoothly. And then we have another mannequin formation there. And here we've got a flip up, flip down, and I've stuck, because I've used vintage music paper, I've stuck some coffee dyed paper, if you can see that, on the top, on the middle, on the bottom, with a butterfly, so there's some writing space there. There like that. And turn it over. And here we have a pocket with a little corset, and again a tag in the top. And this has got coffee dyed card with "Life is Beautiful" stamped here, and on it there's a little handbag, or like a little drawstring bag, and a little hat that's from the same stamp kit that I've got collection. That goes there. Another little corset just for decoration. Here's the other half of the glassine bag, and this is Tim Holtz film like acetate, and I've put a ticket there with "Life is Beautiful" on it. And inside, again, I've put lace down here, and there's a butterfly up there, and there's a picture of this lovely lady. There's a journaling spot. Put that in there. This is a little tag, tiny tag that's got a little, if I bring this up, eyelet there. And again, it's been layered up with some music paper, and it's on a craft card. And there's a little Tim Holtz paper clip there holding that on. And on the other side is a little ticket with the corset on it. And we're coming to the end, and I've just realised I can't find the little corset that I had that's meant to go in that tuck spot, so I'm going to have to find that in a moment. But in this little pocket, if I just show you, this is made with a piece of old, like a net curtain, and I've threaded some black beads through the loops of this, like a lacy trim, while I sewed that on. And hanging off here, we've got "Made with Love." And here we've got a tag, again layered up in the same sort of way with a corset, some cheesecloth and some applique. I've actually scripted the back of that one. And here we've got the little parasol on some cheesecloth on the music paper, and then inside of that is a little card from the Stamperia paper pack with another corset on it. So I think you can say that corsets and vintage ladies was the theme of this little journal. And then on the back page, I didn't want to cover this up because it's just so beautiful. And here we've got a little corset tuck, and here is another little card, but I've stamped my stamp on the back, and here I've stamped "Made with Love." So that is journal for Ali. I hope she likes it. It's just a little gift for her. I'll be sending this off tomorrow. Thank you for watching. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave them below in the comment section. And I'll be back very soon with another journal. So bye for now, folks, and take care.